I had plans I tell you. I was going to jump on the bike this week, go for a drive around, but this has been every day. So I can't show you about. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do a best of. I'll show you how beautiful it is on the islands like Balicasag Island and some of the beaches. And then I promise, all right, pinky swear, that I will do an update of that and do a little tour around the islands. But for now, going out to Balicasag must be one of my favorite things to do in the whole of the Philippines. These videos that I'm showing here are from about 3 trips. I went across with Eddie at one stage a couple of years back, and of course my cousin Todd as well. Getting there is really easy. There's a million guys on the beach trying to sell you tours across to Balicasag Island. It's well worth it. Yeah, definitely a 6 a.m. start, get some breakfast. Then you go across to look at the dolphins. The dolphins are kind of funny because a million boats are chasing dolphins around, and I'm pretty sure they're just having fun with the boats. Hello! Hello. Hello. You okay? Okay. Okay. When my mate Lee and his family came over, Lee put his face mask on, he put his flippers on, and just jumped in the water and just promptly sank straight to the bottom. Etchem, our captain, dived in and picked him up and said, you know, what's going on? Lee told us he can't swim. He just thought he'd give it a go. Etchem promptly put a life vest on him and took him for a wonderful snorkeling trip through the turtle and fish sanctuaries. It's a noisy, roughly an hour boat ride across to the island of Balicasag, and they put you in about 4 to 5 meters of water. Balicasag is actually a sanctuary, so they restrict the number of divers and people that can go there in a day. What they then do is they'll put you in a smaller boat to take you out to the turtle sanctuary. In about 4 or 5 meters of water, you'll see as many as, look, I think we saw about 20 turtles one day that we were out there. Swimming with Eddie from Australia, we followed this turtle for a little while. Actually, it was kind of funny because we followed him for such a long time, maybe 8 to 10 minutes, 12 minutes, that when we stopped and went up for breath, he swam away and we turned around and we were miles off the island. It was quite a long swim to get back to it. There have been a few sightings of whale sharks as well. I've seen this amazing video of like a hurricane or a tornado of tuna and a whale shark just coming through it. You can see the turtles in about 4 or 5 meters, as I said before. But Todd and I decided to go a little bit deeper, and this image shows us diving down to around about 13 meters. going down there, you kind of forget to breathe. Todd and I, we kind of laugh quite a lot about it because you go down and you're swimming down underwater for a minute and a half, and then you suddenly realize, I may need some oxygen. When Robbie and Tish came to visit a couple of years back, we took them all over the island, really. We went up to Inthe and also to a few of the waterfalls. They absolutely loved the Kawasan Falls where they could sit under the waterfall. Bohol has got a huge number of waterfalls. Some of them are quite hidden. We know a tour guide that takes people to some of the more hidden waterfalls. The Twin Falls are gorgeous. You can go to Kawasan Falls. They're nice. It's not a big swimming area, but it's a great spot to have a look at. This place was more like a picnic area, but it did have this wonderful little spring with fresh water coming out of it. And this was out of this cave. And you could go inside the cave a little way, only a small amount, but it was great. You've seen the Kumagao Falls from my video when we went up to Inabunga. I might just climb down, you know.
Are you eating your words?
A little bit. Huh? A little bit. Kabugnau Cave is up in Inthe, and Inthe is God's country. It's absolutely gorgeous up there. You've got Kandahar, Gundulman. The beaches are white sand all the way out. It's such a lovely little town. It's small at the moment. There are a lot of resorts there though, and they're kind of overly ridiculously priced. I'm hoping to buy land up there in the near future so we can build Unk's beach house. Okay, back in 2013, I have done some dives, and on my 9th dive and my last dive, I may have run out of air during the dive. Now, I'm an open water diver with my PADI, and I am only really allowed to go shallow dives. But the dive master was taking a professional diver down and decided to take me down to 32 meters to see this nice cliff wall, and you can see the overhang as well. After going through a refresher course to make sure that I was aware of what we were doing and all the hand signals, we went down for the dive. The lovely French guy that was with us, he was very helpful and followed me while I followed the dive master. They also made sure that I understood all the hand signals that were necessary when diving, and at one stage the dive masters turned around to me and he's asked me if I had air. Now, what do you think his expression was like when I said I was empty? He looks across at the other diver and goes, "Check this out." And the other diver's looking at me going, it's okay, we'll just buddy dive. We'll take you back up to the surface pretty quickly. Look, I've got to be honest, I stayed calm. We did have to have our compression stops on the way up as well. They set it all up and got ready, and then we went to the surface. He said, "Follow me," and we're going up. At this depth, we needed a couple of compression stops to get up. As you can see, it's still pretty. Like, I wasn't panicking, this was fine. And we followed our way all the way up to the surface.
Good day.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That cave is beautiful. Beautiful.
You got some blood?
Blood?
Your nose?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There is
If you come to Panglao, you have to go to Napaling Point. Napaling Point, or Balicasag, is the best dive spot on this island. Without a doubt, the diversity in this small area is absolutely incredible. You'll see a lot of different types of fish, of course, but one of the favorite things down there is most of the time you get there, you'll see some sea snakes. Don't panic. The first time I saw one of these guys, I could have ran on water. I got out of the water so fast. By the time I got my heart rate down and went and did a little bit of research, I found that these beautiful banded sea snakes are actually quite harmless. They're fairly docile, and quite often divers will handle them while in the water. They are also one of the most venomous snakes on the planet. Not poisonous. Poisonous is if you eat it. Venomous is if it bites you. Now, when I say it's venomous, it really is. It can truly kill you in seconds or minutes or whatever it is. But I've also found out that the sea snake's mouth is very different. The teeth are in the back and the mouth is very small. So it's extremely hard for this thing to actually bite you. It really has to be trying. If you see one, you can follow it, but don't worry about it biting you. It's very difficult for it to actually bite you. One of the best features that you'll find at Napaling Point is that around the Panglao Island there is a reef and then a cliff wall. And most of the time, to get out to this reef, you have to swim between 100 and 200 meters to get there. At Napaling, you'll find that the reef wall is barely 10 meters off the cliff wall. And what that means is you can stand on a natural stone platform, walk out, put your face into the water while still standing, and you'll see the sardine schools. It's amazing for new swimmers and new divers. You have to go down there. It's incredible. What most people come here for is free diving, but you also have the sardines. There are massive schools of sardines here most of the year round. When they're spawning, growing, whatever you want to call it, there's millions and millions of fish. It's a solid shimmering wall. And because of this flat stone platform, anybody can really experience this for themselves. You simply walk in, put your face in the water. When Todd and Nene came over, it's exactly what they did. Nene's not a great swimmer, so she literally stood on the stone wall and put her face in the water. This is a great indicator. You can see we're barely standing in 3 feet of water and the sardines are all around us. Of course, this also depends on the tide. At high tide, there's a fair bit more water, but you can still walk out there. It's probably 4 to 5 feet, so keep that in mind when you go out to Napaling. Fiesta is around from barangay to barangay, from town to town. Pretty much every month there'll be a fiesta. You have to go and check these out. They'd spend months putting all of this together, and it's the Pinoy way of celebrating their life and their religion. So looking around Panglao and Bohol, there's so much to see. You cannot say you're going to get bored when you're here. Best way to travel around is on a couple of bikes. Just hire a scooter or two and really just go from place to place and see what's around. It's the best way to travel, seriously. You know what? If you do come over, just come and see me. We'll take you around, show you all the good spots. Alright, so I'm going to try a local delicacy. Now this is called chica worm. So see it? They're definitely worms, aren't they? So, let's see me eat a worm. You want to see me eat the worm? Look, there's the worm. Worm, do you try? Tastes like peanuts. A little bit of green peas at the end. It's definitely crunchy. No gooey bits? No gooey bits at all. It's just crunchy. You want to try? Baba? Come on. You try? Okay. No? Oh yeah. You like? No, see? The 5-year-old ate it. The 50-year-old is not going to eat it. 5-year-old? 50-year-old. So, that's chicken worms. It looks like bait. You're a cock. No. Oh, sorry.
This must be love.
I did finally get to take the kids down to the beach to have a bit of a look, but I mean, this is Alona Beach at the moment. Look at this. There's nothing but weed and rubbish and crap that's blown up onto the beach from I'm guessing a storm down in the south there. And it's been like this for days. I promised I was going to take you on a beach tour. It's not very often that you see waves on Alona Beach. Wow, that's a good one!
I'm gonna make another one right here.
Yeah. Look at this gentleman down here, and he's actually sweeping the beach. What a great guy. Isn't that amazing? I don't know if that's his job or if he's just proud to be here. Hello. Look at the weed up on the beach. Look how much there is. Can you see? Look at it. I've never seen that, huh? That's a lot of weed. It's all the way along the beach. You think I'm gonna leave you?